Hello, I'm Stewart Jackson. I work as a family counselor, and I've been motivated to record a few short video chats by a family member and also by the families with whom I'm privileged to work about managing the stresses that we are all experiencing as a part of this time in our human history. This is my first pandemic. I don't know about you, but it's certainly a time where all of us are experiencing a deep and profound sense of loss, some of us more, some less. But we're all aware of things that we've lost: people, family members, we've lost time, we've lost opportunity, we've lost chances to go to school or graduate from schools, or we've lost jobs, we've lost money, we've lost savings. It's just a tremendous time of loss. How do we manage ourselves so that we can be the best family member during times like this? Well, Dr. Murray Bowen did some extraordinary work on anxiety and how to manage it and how to be our best self in a time of chronic anxiety. And one of the things he said is that and discovered was that relationships are one of the key ways to lower and manage anxiety. Relationships that are open, safe, and clear seem to be as effective a way to manage as anything else we know. A part of every relationship is communication. And today I'd like to just lift up a couple of ways in which communication can be clarified so that we can be less anxious people. Now there's a movie that I like that has a character in it that says, asks another, says, when you're talking, are you listening or are you just waiting to talk? Well, I think a lot of us are just waiting to talk when we're involved in conversation or trying to communicate in our families. How can we be more listeners? So I want to lift up a couple of things today and maybe a couple of things in the next little video chat that seem to be effective. And there are things that you probably have already thought of, but I'll just validate your thinking. Now, I hope you won't make fun or comments about my graphics, but the first thing is may seem simple, but is to have time to communicate, to set a time, to make some time, to schedule some time, to be clear about the time that I want to talk with you. Most of us respond better to when somebody wants to talk to us is to call and say, hey, could we talk later on? Or can I have a word with you? Asking permission rather than just starting right in. Particularly if you're a little more introverted and you need a little time to process, like what is this? How am I going to respond? But time is important. When you want to communicate is important. We all have circadian rhythms. That is, we're better and more alert at some times of the day than we are at other times. I'm happy to talk in the mornings. After 9 o'clock at night, not so much. But my wife is very good in the evenings. We made a good team with our children because we had different circadian rhythms. But between the two of us, we've had to learn to kind of meet in the middle. So that we're not trying to have real important conversations when it's, I don't know, not a good time for us. So finding our time and setting that with our partner seems to be helpful in communicating. And the only other thing I want to mention today in this little chat is to, when you're communicating, is to decide what's the purpose of this communication. Am I trying to listen for understanding or a solution? This makes a tremendous difference. If you're listening for understanding or communicating to be understood, then the questions you're asking each other are, well, am I getting this? Do I hear you correctly? Is there more? Do I understand what you're trying to say? I'm trying to understand what you're saying literally and figuratively. However, if I'm listening for solution, then it's more like a brainstorming session, so that I am coming up with options and choices that we have. And, well, have you tried this or have you tried that? Could we do this or that? The reason these are important is because if you're communicating with somebody you love and you're wanting just to be understood, but they respond with solutions, it's very, very frustrating. Or if you're looking for, help me figure this out, and they only are just understanding you, that can be equally as frustrating. So this is getting on the same page, or just to make sure that how we're communicating and what we're communicating is the same. Well, I'll have some more about these next time, but I wanted just to lift up a short one this time, and I hope you're well, and I hope you're staying strong, and I hope you're staying 6 feet apart.